So, today I want to talk about 3 things in Dawntrail that puzzle me. But before I go on, I want to make it very clear that I'm going to be talking about spoilers, things that happen in the second half of the expansion. So if you haven't finished Dawntrail yet, don't watch the video, save it for watch later, and come back once you do. Also, aside from the usual YouTube things of, like, subscribe, I am going to ask you to comment in some points because it's likely that I just missed something, that these puzzling things have answers that I just missed, or I haven't made the connection I needed to do. So yeah, let's get to it. First, let's talk about Ketenramm. This long thought lost or dead Lominsan explorer found a new world and has been living here in peace for many years. That is all well and good. Until the end of the contest, when Wuklamat and Koana are, crowned the new leaders of Tuliyollal, and we are treated to a very curious cutscene. Ketenramm, who now lives in Yaktel, is walking, chilling, going to his house after, everything is said and done, and he's attacked. Let's forget for a moment that it's clearly the visuals and sounds of a slashing attack, which would have been deadly, or so we're led to believe. Later we find out that this attack was perpetrated by none other than Soralja, who wants to find Ketenramm's copy of the crystals that will allow him entrance to the City of Gold. How did Soralja know that Ketenramm had copy? That doesn't matter. What's important is that the last time we see Ketenramm, he has been attacked. Maybe you might think he was killed by this mysterious assailant. And when do we see Ketenramm next? In Tuliyollal's throne room in the middle of Soralja's attack on the city. While the mysterious Techno soldiers attack Tuliyollal, Wuklamat rushes to the throne room. And there we see 3 people. We see Gulool Ja facing Soralja, and Ketenramm. He's just standing there, looking at both father and son fight, and when Wuklamat tries to intervene, he stops her as well. But my question is, how was he there? How is Ketenramm in the throne room doing nothing when the man that attacked him is fighting his good old friend Gulool Ja? Did he go there with Soralja? But that doesn't make any sense. Soralja wasn't in Tuliyollal. Soralja came from the other reflection. He couldn't have been with Ketenramm. And it's unlikely that Soralja took Ketenramm with him when he crossed the Golden Gate. So where did he come from? Now, you could argue that Ketenramm, upon waking up after his attack, saw his house was ransacked, his stones were missing, and he, connected the dots and realized that his attacker, who he saw because he had blue scales, had been Soralja trying to access the Golden Gate and, do all of this somehow. But there was no way he would know. He doesn't know what the technology on the other side of the gate was. Did he? But, okay, so let's think that maybe he woke up, realized what Soralja had done, and rushed to Gulool Ja's throne room to, warn him of what was about to happen. But then again, he didn't know what was about to happen. But he was there in the middle of an incredible, never-before-seen invasion on Tuliyollal, and apparently he had an easier time getting to the throne room than even Wuklamat and the Wall did. So, yeah, what's the deal with Ketenramm? I know some people think that he might be a secret ASEAN. Some characters during the MSQ do express their surprise at finding out that Ketenramm is still alive. He's been hiding for a long time. So, I don't know, maybe he's an ASEAN, maybe he's not. We don't know, we still don't know. And that's one of the things that puzzles me about Dawntrail. The second thing that puzzles me about Dawntrail is Gulool Ja, Soralja's son. Specifically, where did he come from? I mean, who's the mother? Now, we know that Mamulja reproduce sexually. That's part of the whole Mamulk thing with blessed siblings and which subspecies of Mamulja you need to combine to get one. And while it is not discarded completely that Gulool Ja might reproduce asexually. I don't remember hearing anything about that during the MSQ. So, who is Gulool Ja's mother? If you notice, in the entire second half of the expansion, when it comes to the dome, there's no Gulool Jas. Actually, I don't think there's any Aura or Rogadin or even Hrothgar either, but I might be wrong about that. But there is definitely no Gulool Jas. I have heard that maybe Soralja cloned himself, but that doesn't make any sense. He didn't want a son, he didn't want that. And Sphene wouldn't have done that herself, because probably Soralja would have found out and he wouldn't have been very, very happy at Sphene. Not that they were in the best of terms, but they were planning things together. So I don't think Sphene did that either. Now, it is possible that there were Gulool Ja females inside the Heritage Found or in the last train to arrive right at the moment of the interdimensional fusion. And, time passes differently. Maybe one of them was found by Soralja, they fell in love, have a little kid, but he didn't want a kid, and things happen. But again, I don't think there was any mention of that. Others have pointed out that Soralja doesn't have a mother himself, but it's much easier to believe if it wasn't mentioned in the MSQ that he had a mother, but she died at some point during his childbirth or early childhood into Liolal, which does sound more plausible than Soralja having no access to a female for 30 years and somehow a little Gulool Ja baby showing up. It doesn't make much sense to me, but maybe there's a reason I missed, and you can help me with the comments below. Or we may get some more information if the upcoming patches deal more with Gulool Ja. He's now the ruler of an entire nation, but he's a child. So we may get a little more about his backstory or mother or however it is he came into existence. Maybe. But for now, it is one of those things about Dawntrail. And the final thing, and this is even difficult for me to articulate because I'm not really sure I get everything that was happening in that zone. It's about living memory. Specifically, where is living memory? Let me explain. It is implied, even in a quest in living memory, that living memory, the place, is located on the 12th floor of Everkeep. Also, right before the second to last dungeon, it is explained that all the souls and memories that are being taken from people in Everkeep are being funneled up beyond the 11th floor. And after we fight and defeat Soralja, there's literally nothing above them except when he opens a portal to another, air quotes, reflection, and that's where living memory is. So we might argue that living memory is the 12th floor of Everkeep, but since they're separated by interdimensional fusion, she needs the key to open portals to open communication between both reflections. That's all well and good. Also worth mentioning that when Soralja arrives at this new reflection, he does so through the Gold Gate, the same way we do, and we arrive in living memory, so it is, I guess, safe to assume that Soralja also arrived at living memory, and he likely found Sphene, and they talked, and she invited him to Everkeep, the rest, and they concocted the plans, blah 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 blah, and so forth. So, back to the point is, where is living memory located, and why do I ask this? Let's assume living memory is the 12th floor of Everkeep. As we turn off living memory and every section loses its glamour and becomes just electrope, at the end, when we turn it all off, when we defeat Sphene, the entire system is shut down, why is there a sun coming out? Sure, we win, and it's nice seeing the sun rise in this otherwise dark and dead place, but if living memory is inside the 12th floor of a huge facility just like Solution 9 is the 9th floor, shouldn't we see walls of electrope? The system is shut down. What, we shut down the entire place and the only thing that was left was a simulation of the sky and the sun? Why? But what's the alternative? If living memory is not inside a dome, but rather exposed to the environment, isn't this a reflection that was destroyed by a cataclysm of thunder? high concentration, lighting aspected ether in the ambient and whatnot? Wasn't this the very problem that Sphinx civilization faced? Wasn't this the reason that Electrope was used for all of this, where their entire technology revolves about Electrope because Electrope can take thunder and convert it into other elements so they can live? So if their entire environment is thunder, why are there clear skies when we turn off living memory? We should see thunderous skies. Nothing to protect them from the elements. Or if living memory is inside a huge dome, just like Solution 9 is, why doesn't the entire skybox, so to speak, becomes Electrope? Walls and walls and walls of Electrope. Living memory no longer has a system or energy to sustain the glamour. Why is there a sun? Why is there dawn? If you guys know, I would appreciate it if you tell me in the comments, how is this possible? Or what are we supposed to be seeing? I know that living memory is, a very special zone that's meant to be, like this heaven for memories, but the entire place is a form of simulation. It's created with Electrope to make these memories live happily ever after. So why is there a sun? How is this connection made? And that, my friends, are the 3 things that puzzle me about Dawntrail. Do you have anything that puzzled you about Dawntrail? Let me know. But please, refrain from the puzzling thing being Wooglamat's presence in the MSQ. I have had enough Reddit for a lifetime regarding that topic. In the end, I enjoyed Dawntrail very, very much. I was, as I said when I ended the stream after finishing the MSQ, I felt satisfied. I was very happy with what I had just played. And I'm happy with the expansion as a whole. Sure, as I had more time to think about it, these questions started popping into my mind, but they don't really take away from my excitement and enjoyment of the entire expansion. So, I guess that's the video that I wanted to make. I wanted to talk about these things, share them with you, and just have some fun thinking about them. Until the next time, I'm going to continue leveling my jobs, doing fates, doing, the things of the expansion, and I hope that you are all enjoying Dawntrail as well. Have fun, take care, keep playing, and I'll see you in the next video.